Another video from Arizona Hot Homestead. What am I going to do with this? Thanks for tuning in, Jeff, Arizona Hot Homestead. Today's video, I'm going to use this can. I'm going to use up this whole can. This stuff's pretty cool. It's sticky as heck. So, we're going to use it on this floor. That's what you see all that mess on in the mudroom there. So, let me show you what I did. So I'll put a couple screws in it, but I'm also going to put this on it. This is a Smart Bond. It's basically just a glue. And it's basically just a glue. And I'll put this down on here and then put the plywood down. Then I got to weight down the plywood to allow it to dry, and I think it says a couple hours to dry or something like that. Let it to fully dry, and I'll still pop a couple screws in it, but you really shouldn't need to do any nails or screws. This should actually do the job for you, but I'm going to do it anyhow, and then I'll just pop a couple screws in the corner there and over here on this end. When I put the final flooring over it, it's going to be a floating floor, a floating vinyl plank floor anyhow. So I won't have to worry about screws or nail heads, but I'm going to put a couple in there just a peace of mind. So my boards are cut. These, because my floor is not even. This is like literally much higher than this. So I use roofing shingles to put down in its place. And this here is my low spot. The rest of it's all going to be fine. And what's nice about using this is you can easily cut and break and put it in place. So I've already kind of tested, and it looks like it'll be perfect. But how I was thinking of going with a piece here, a piece here, and a piece here, yeah, that didn't work out. So I'm going to have to, I ended up with 4 pieces. So you'll see that here in a second. So now I'm going to take that adhesive, and we're going to do this one first, and then this one next, and then I'll have some long screws that we'll put down on the ends here. And because I can't put adhesive on this because it's only attached to the roofing tile and the shingle, and that's not going to hold it down. So I'll put it along here, and because the kind of canister it is, it has to go on a gun like this. And even though this says foam gun, it will actually do adhesives. So you've got a couple of tips. There's a cleaner that you also have to use too. So after you get done spraying, then you've got to hook up the cleaner can and clean it. So bathroom literature, looks like. So it looks like those are exactly the same. I guess in case one gets clogged. So it just goes on like say. Alright, let me continue. I didn't use the tip. Tip actually blew off. So I don't know what the tips are for. But anyhow, you adjust back here kind of the volume that you want to come out. And I had it on low and it still blew off the tip. So I don't know what the tips are for. Anyhow, I put some weight on there. I put a couple of screws in some key areas where I knew 2x6s were. And that's it. So now I got to clean this out. And this weight here is just to help hold it all down. And then I'm going to use this cleaner. And basically it just sprays through this and cleans it out so it doesn't get clogged up. So you reuse it. So let me do that now. I did not show spraying this down because I wanted to work fast, because when you spray it down, it's kind of like a foam, and then it kind of converts to a gel. And I wanted to work fast. I didn't want to like stop and take a picture and all that. I wanted to work fast. So yeah, that part's done. Now we just gotta give it a few hours to dry. And then what I'll do is I'll come back in and I'll sand these joints. So those joints there, I'll sand those down so they're smooth. And if you noticed, I've got gaps still. That's because I can't cut straight. And then on the door there, there's a gap there. So I'll just put like maybe a backer rod down in there and more caulking. And then that will seal that up pretty good. So, but let me clean this out before it gets all clogged up. So it's kind of windy out, but that's all I'm going to do, and then I'll wipe that clean on the end. So I don't know how much I need to do. This is, I did a sample deal. That's what it looks like after the foam is done, and that's pretty sticky glue. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see the effects of it, huh? Yeah, you can see the effects of what it does to that glue. Yeah. Alright, so it's probably cleaned out. I just need to clean off the very tip. So, good to go. Don't need much of this to clean it out. So I can reuse this. Cool. Maybe I'll put this tip on and see if I can clean up this tip. Now, I don't know how well you can see, but there is a little hole right there in the cap. So when you put the cap back on, there's a little hole so you can actually spray it, like say. So that's kind of nice, because that'll make it easier to clean this off, which was pretty easy. And then I can easily clean off that tip. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Cool. By the way, that can does, it says 400 linear feet with like a bead. So I put most of it on this center one, because I'm going to have the bench over there, so that's going to hold that one down. And then there's going to be a cabinet over here, so that's pretty much holds that down. So the only real important one is really this center one. So, but yeah, it worked out fine. I used one hook can. This is 5 by 7. It's actually 6 by 7.5. Good to go. Now I just got to give it a few hours to dry. Okay, the floor is in. I countersunk a few screws and put some caulking over it. This here is going to be where the bench goes. I'm going to burn some wood. These are 2x6s. That's kind of the base. And then we'll have some storage underneath and then the bench. And then we'll just put the tile from there over. But outside of that glare, that's kind of what it looks like. There it goes, focuses. Subfloor done. So now let's move on to the bench and the vinyl planks, and then trimming the room. Don't forget to stay tuned and see if I have fun.